In this video, I'm going to show you one of the best SEO strategies for SaaS companies in 2026. This is the same system I've used to help 7- and 8-figure SaaS companies rank #1 on Google. And more importantly, I've helped them turn those rankings into paying customers. Like one client who we helped close a $30,000 deal directly from Google. But most people are too busy chasing traffic or flashy keywords to do something similar to us, which is exactly why I want to walk you through this SEO system. I'll cover everything from the keyword research strategy all the way down to creating the actual content, so that by the end of this video, you'll have a system that doesn't just rank you higher on Google, but actually converts traffic into paying customers. Now, the first step is what most people already know, but do completely wrong, and that's your keyword research. Most people hop on Ahrefs, look at a few keywords and their search volumes, and create content based on whatever they think is going to work best. And that's simply because they think that more traffic automatically means more customers. But sometimes that process can be completely backwards, because as a business, your goal should be to bring in more customers and not just more traffic or visitors. And while there is a time and place for getting more high traffic keywords on purpose, sometimes lower traffic keywords with a higher buying intent can convert way better. So you need a balance of both. And that's exactly what we implement across our SaaS clients. So let me show you an example of what that looks like. So right here, I have a list of keywords, and it's a really small example. So in total, I only have 8 keywords. And these ones highlighted is what's called bottom of the funnel keywords. These are keywords where people are looking to buy whatever you're offering. So in this case, they're looking for a SaaS SEO agency. They're looking for SEO for their SaaS link building agency, a B2B SaaS marketing agency in general, and a content agency for their SaaS company. Whenever you have certain keyword modifiers, like the word best as a prefix to the content agency for SaaS, that means they're looking for a list or options of content agencies for their SaaS. And then you could also look at like cost per click, for example. So a $20 cost per click means that the people coming through here are ready to buy, or at least ready to book a call in this case. And a $7, $10, $13 cost per click means that the traffic is pretty qualified, otherwise no one would bid that high on that keyword. So 5 out of 8 of these keywords are bottom of the funnel keywords. And the reason we want to target a majority bottom of the funnel keywords is because what we're looking to do in this specific set of keywords or the specific month is actually convert more traffic. And then we're going to complement that with a middle of funnel keyword and 2 top of funnel keywords. So here I have the one middle of funnel keyword highlighted. This is SEO agency pricing. The reason it's the middle of the funnel is because they're looking for pricing for SEO agencies, which probably means they're comparing different options, or at least they're somewhat interested in hiring an SEO agency, but they're not necessarily looking to book a call with an SEO agency. And then these 2 that are highlighted are top of the funnel keywords, and the bottom one is programmatic SEO guide. So the people searching up for programmatic SEO guide are in the top of the funnel because they're not necessarily looking for anything related to buying or booking a call. They're really just looking for a general guide. You can still filter these people into your funnel because they're clearly in the right realm of your target market. And then SEO for SaaS startups. So this is people just looking for a guide on SEO, and you can determine that based on the search intent when you actually search up the keyword. Although in this case, you'd actually make a case that this is more bottom of the funnel or middle of the funnel because it does have a $9 cost per click. And then some of the search results are also more bottom of the funnel, book a call heavy, that type of thing. But overall, we have a breakdown where we have the majority of bottom of funnel keywords, and then we have some middle of funnel and some top of funnel keywords. And that's because what we're trying to do with these set of keywords is book in more demos, complemented by some search volume or traffic. And if you're looking to just get more trust with Google and not yet rank for bottom of the funnel keywords that were driving in conversions, what you would do is target a majority of massive volume keywords that are more top of the funnel, most likely, and then less bottom of the funnel keywords. Now here's an example list of keywords of purely top of the funnel keywords. So if your goal was to book in more demos, this is a bad keyword list for that goal because these are all top of the funnel. So you have audit checklist, KPIs, comparison of SEO versus PPC, general content marketing guide, a roadmap, strategy, best practices. So these are people not looking to sign up or buy anything. They're really just looking for general information that is in the top of the funnel. And as you can see, all of these cost per clicks are pretty low, except maybe the SaaS SEO strategy, which is $7 per click. And then there are no commercial intents that are all pretty informational. And there's also no keyword modifiers like best or software or services. That makes it a more bottom of the funnel keyword. So if you wanted to get more conversions, you wouldn't want to have a 100% top of the funnel keyword list. Now, if you want to rank for blogs that actually convert visitors into customers, this is exactly what we help our SaaS clients do. We've worked with almost 100 SaaS companies at this point. point and ranked thousands of blogs in the top spots on Google, like Align, who we helped to rank #1 and close a $30,000 deal straight from Google. Now, if you want to see if we can help you do something similar, you can book a call using the first link below. But either way, understanding which keywords to target is only one part of the equation, because knowing what to rank for and converting the people who land on your content are two completely different things. And this is where a lot of SaaS companies I see leave the most on the table, because even if they're targeting the right keywords, they can still ruin conversions at this step. And it mostly boils down to the content that you're publishing. And there are two sides to it. There's what you're actually saying in the article, which has to do with depth of information and how relevant you are to the buyer's problem. Then there's the structure, which is how the content is laid out, how you guide them to buy from you, call to action placements, things like that. And if you get one of these wrong, your conversions will absolutely tank. This means your job is to stay hyper relevant and also convert the traffic that is on the page. And that way, everyone who lands on your blogs or resource content has exactly what they want from you and an easy way to buy from you. So let's look at a couple blogging examples real quick. So this keyword is SEO for SaaS startups. So what they're actually looking for is a full guide on SEO for SaaS startups. So we start by giving them exactly what they want. So in a nice summary or TLDR section, we're going to talk about what SEO for SaaS is and a little bit about the strategies. And then we'll go more in depth and talk about exactly what SaaS SEO is, SaaS versus traditional SEO. Do SaaS startups need SEO? So talking about the main buying points that is on the keyword search engine, meaning we got a lot of this from what Google is already recommending to them by searching up the keyword, looking at the top results and seeing what they're talking about, because that's a curated list of exactly what the searcher is looking for. So we talk about key benefits and we just go super in depth on this. And then we even go into how to develop an effective SaaS SEO strategy. So that satisfies what the searcher is looking for. And now we want to look into actually converting the traffic. So we have a few different ways we do this. The first is by UX, call to actions. So basically the people landing on this page are SEO team members or marketing team members at SaaS startups. And for example, we have a few different call to actions here. So up here on the top, we have a sticky nav bar, and the first tab they see is B2B SaaS SEO services. So throughout this entire process, if they're like, hey, I want to learn more or maybe get a better SEO system, they see that a hyper relevant call to action right here, B2B SaaS SEO services. We also have another call to action here that scrolls with the text and says book 10 to 20 new SaaS demos per week. So we're saying, hey, we're going to get you more SaaS demos specifically to SaaS companies with SEO, and then they can book a strategy demo just like that. And then we even have like a nice call to action section here, which is telling them to book a strategy call or read our case studies, but essentially saying, hey, if you're a SaaS company and you don't want to do this entire process yourself, you can just book a call with us. And another example I'm going to go through, which is one of the most common examples, is called a listicle, and the keyword is best SaaS SEO agencies. So these are SaaS companies searching up for SEO agencies, and what they want in the search intent is a list of SaaS companies. And what we're giving them right off the bat is a very quick comparison, a very straightforward comparison of the top 10 SEO agencies for SaaS companies, and they're getting the perfect breakdown just like this. So that satisfies what they're looking for. And then we have the same situation. We have call to actions all throughout. And then we even have like in-text call to actions just like this. So ready to book 10 to 20 demos per week, book a free strategy call, what makes ABH Media different, book a demo, case studies, everything you need. Now, the first two pillars do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to ranking at the top spot, but that doesn't always mean you'll get there. Your off-page SEO and your user experience have a lot to do with getting those top spot rankings. So if you really want to dominate SEO for your SaaS company, you can't just stop at basic keyword research or content structure. These are some key elements when it comes to ranking on Google. So let's dive into off-page SEO and user experience. So the first thing I'll talk about is user experience. So this is in the form of page load speed, readability. So this is on the user's end, internal linking, and just the overall user experience. The definition is pretty much in its name. So I already showed this, but one really good example for user experience is adding some sort of summary or TLDR section. So this basically summarizes the entire article and gives the summary to them in a few concise bullet points. So this article is how to build a profitable SaaS SEO strategy. And the first line in the TLDR is to build a profitable SaaS SEO strategy. You fix technical issues first, target buyer intent keywords, map content to the marketing funnel, get high quality backlinks, and optimize for conversion. So exactly what I'm breaking down in this video. But this is a good user experience because people walk away happy and they got their exact answer, or they don't want the high level answer and they're going to be intrigued to learn more in the rest of this content and dive deeper. You also want to give them a lot of places to explore your company. So linking the logo back to the homepage, giving them more resources to look at, talking about the author, giving more internal links like breadcrumbs right here where they can go click on the blog and look at the rest of the content. These are all things that help the user experience because they have a better experience if they can get more tangible items, such as exploring your company or learning more about the topic. Another piece of user experience is your page load speed as well, because no one wants to sit forever waiting for a page to load. So for example, this blog template has a 93 out of 100 page performance, best practices at a 96, the SEO is at 100, the accessibility is at an 86, which isn't really bad, but it's really just talking about like background, for colors, things like that. But you want to mainly focus on your brand colors anyways. And overall, this is just a good experience for the user. And page speed actually does have a lot to do with how your SEO performs, because if people bounce too fast because the page experience is poor or it loads too slowly, that bounce rate will go up and your SEO performance will go down. What also falls under this category, something I've already talked about, which is call to action. So having call to actions everywhere, they can pretty much book a strategy call in a few different places. So they can book it here, they can book it here. Even throughout the content, there's call to actions for them to book a call. And then they can go look at our case studies. So these types of call to actions keeps them on your website longer, because they're going to go explore different parts of your website or even booking a call, which is at the end of the day, the entire goal. And then lastly, the content itself is pretty important for the user experience. So typically you want to keep your tonality very in line with the rest of your brand voice. So in most cases for B2B SaaS companies, you want to keep an informational tonality in your content. This is basically being very definitive, very informative, and not being over the top with your tonality. If you were like an independent blogger, you want to have more of a conversational or personal tonality. And then if you're a news article, you obviously have a news style tonality. But for B2B, these are other business owners that are looking for certain products, and you want to keep that informational tonality, which does have to do with user experience, because no one wants to read in the wrong tonality, especially if they're searching in a B2B mindset. And that's the exact 3-step system that we're using to help 7 and 8 figure SaaS companies sign deals directly from Google. Now, if you want to see what that looks like in practice, you can watch this video here where I try to rank a website #1 on Google in 24 hours. I'll see you over there.